Hey, 365 fans, it's Manda Cat here. We're here for our 89th podcast. And today we have Lenny Lilac on. Hey, Lenny, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for being on with me today. I really appreciate it. So do all
Oh,
the 365 fans.
you're welcome.
So, um, getting into it, how have you been coping with no wrestling happening here in Ontario for 365 Pro Wrestling?
Well, it's kind of wearing on me now, but I mean, I did last year, leading up to this point. I was undefeated. I had 3 wins, so I was going to break Goldberg's streak. I was pretty sure, but the government got in the way, and now just waiting. Like I'd love to get back in there right now.
Yeah, we're all waiting for that first show. We can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be such a pumped up show.
Do you think it'll happen before, like in this calendar year? You think you can make things happen? Like, what kind of pull do you have, Amanda? Can you get out there and say, hey, like we need wrestling back right now? Like, are you like,
I could try my best getting
Do you
out
have ties
there.
with the government? Like, what are we talking about here?
No,
Like, no. Like, well,
no, but you know,
that's not what I was told. I was told you had like big ties with the government and you were going to be able to bring wrestling back, and that's why you brought me on here to tell everybody that wrestling was back because Manda Cat said so. Like, what's going on about that? This is ridiculous.
well, I know. I'm trying my best to get in there and get in to talk to somebody so that we can get wrestling back because I'm missing wrestling just as much as anybody else. And you think being a woman, I'd have more of a chance getting in there.
Well, you guys are in charge now of everything, so get out there and make this happen.
I'm going to. I should go make a sign, start protesting around Brantford.
Whatever it takes, Amanda. Whatever it takes.
Yes. I know. It's whatever it takes at this point because there's not much else we can really do.
No, I'm tired of sitting in this house waiting to go. Let's go. Make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on you.
Thanks for putting that on my shoulders.
No problem. I know you can handle it. You're a big girl, so.
I am. I'm quite strong. Got those muscles. I'll push and pull, get my way. So, you've been in the wrestling world for quite some time now.
What are you saying? I'm
Uh,
old?
no, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. I wouldn't say that. No.
Experienced. I'd say I'm experienced. Yes.
There. Yes, you are experienced. You have had lots of matches out there. So, do you have any that are your favorite?
Well, only when I win. I hate losing at everything. Most people that know me can contest that I'll do anything to win at any time. Uh, doesn't matter what we're playing. I've been known. I'm the greatest Battleship player that ever was. Did you know that, Amanda? You know the board
No,
game
I
Battleship.
didn't.
Nobody can beat
Oh,
me. But they say
oh,
that you're not allowed to move your boats. But I like, what's the difference? Like I track where you're shooting, not just where everyone else is shooting, and then my boats float. Boats are on water. What do you mean they can't move? This is ridiculous.
that is ridiculous. You'll have to bring one next time we see each other, and I'll have to go against you.
Well, you'll lose, but I'll definitely bring it.
I don't know. I'm pretty
Do you
competitive
like to
too.
gamble? Do you like to bet? Like I like to gamble on things. So, like you make a wager? Like you have any money? Like
We could make a wager. We could definitely make a wager. We could bet.
at
To make it
Battleship or wrestling?
interesting, we could
Because
say.
I think wrestling, has a shady past of like winners and losers. I don't know if we could trust the guy who's with the pencil.
So we'd have to get like somebody that is more a third party to make the rules. So that
Uh,
way we know that we're not cheating.
oh, okay. Not bad, not bad. Okay, well, it sounds like we have a bet. Bring your money.
All right. All right. That sounds good. I'll hold you to
All
it.
right. You got a lot of work to do, man. I got you. You're in charge of the government now. You're bringing wrestling back. You're gambling on Battleship. Like, you better write this stuff down.
All right. All right. I'll write it down after we do our interview. That way I have it all and I can cross it off when I finish it.
Good.
Awesome. Awesome. So you said that you like to gamble. And I heard that you're really good at poker. So how'd you get into all that?
Well, when I was 12 years old, my uncle had a party, and I think it was his birthday party, and all his buddies who I had never met before got together, and they were playing cards in my parents' laundry room, and I sat in on the game for the first time, and I never played poker before, and they taught me how to play, and I won $8 in like quarters, nickels, and dimes. I thought I
Good
was the
for you.
greatest player ever, and I continued on from that day. I can't get enough. I could play all the time.
Yeah. I've actually never played poker, really.
Oh,
That
I
I
could
can
teach you.
remember.
It's just
But
yeah, just you said you have money, right?
yeah.
Well, that's all you need.
Yeah, I got money.
I'm sure you'll be great at it. Like no problem. It takes a little bit of time to get, a little cost you a little bit of money maybe, but you know, I got you. I know what's good.
I've got a good poker face, so I've been
Oh,
told I'm very hard to read. That
oh yeah?
might benefit me.
Yeah, that's good. You need that.
Yes, yes. So, is there any other hobbies that you like that most people wouldn't think?
Well, I like to bowl a lot. I've been doing that since I was a kid. I
Yeah.
yeah,
Have you ever won a championship?
of
Like, are you
course.
in a league?
Yeah,
So
I'm in
you're
the
in a league?
league. Yeah. I've been in the same league since I was 16 years old, of like for 30 something years. I mean, a long time. And we've won the championship several times. I bowled a perfect game.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I got a
hard to
ring.
do
Well, it's not for everybody, but for some people it is. But
for me. I'm not very good at bowling. I will admit that. I have to have those gutter things so that it doesn't go in the gutter.
if I didn't go into the wrestling business, Amanda, I probably would have gone to become a professional bowler.
Wow, that's so cool. That's awesome. I had no idea. I learned something new today about you.
There you go.
Yes. So we're gonna scooch back into some wrestling. Um, what are your three people who would be your most influential in your wrestling career?
Uh, well, I would say Waldo von Erich was the first one. When I went to wrestling, I was in a wrestling school in Cambridge at the Hart Brothers School of Wrestling. He was like the patriarch, and I spent most of my time with him because I worked in the office, and he
Yep.
spent days there, and I used to drive him around, and he used to tell me stories about the wrestling the way it was, and he main evented Madison Square Garden with Bruno Sammartino. He traveled the
Yep.
world, and he was from Elmira, just like in Ontario here,
Yeah, that's not far.
and he taught me a lot of stuff. And the number one thing he taught me is don't ever go to a wrestling show without your gear because you never know. You could be nobody, and suddenly you're a star because you're in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, I've heard that. Being in the right place at the right time helps a lot sometimes.
And number two, I would say, as a kid growing up, I always watched Bobby Heenan. I thought he was the best in ring and on the microphone, and what I believe is the wrestling business is supposed to be like. And so he would be the number two. There's
Okay.
lots of wrestlers I liked, but and the third most influential person or persons in my career would probably be my brothers because everything I ever did in the wrestling ring, I tried to get the reaction out of them.
Yeah.
I've typically played if I think they will like it, then that's what I'm gonna do. And sometimes to the point where they're the only ones who like it. But
Yeah, well, they've grown up with you, right? So they
Yeah.
understand where your wrestling kind of started because I also have three boys and they nonstop wrestle. So I'm sure you and your brothers wrestled each other all the time.
Yeah, we used to have a ring down in the basement. We used to play wrestling toys. We used to, wrestle wherever we could. Lots of injuries. My brother once was training for him. I was at school and he was home for the day for some reason, and he was training for a match that we were going to have later that night, and he broke his collarbone diving off his desk onto the mat, and he still went. He's hardcore. He still went through the match. He did tap out to it, crying. I mean, I don't understand why, but but he still went through the match because he didn't know his collarbone was broken until after.
Oh, oh yeah. Wow.
Those are silly things that kids
That's
do, and that's how this business starts, right?
oh yeah. Yes, yes. And having siblings to try moves on probably didn't at all. You got lots of
No,
experience knowing like how to do it this way possible.
yeah, it's not the right way, but it's a way.
Yeah. Till your brothers are screaming. Ah! So, in your wrestling career, has anybody tried to sabotage it? Like
Well, if
put
they have,
their
I'm unsuccessful, but uh, no, not that I truly know of. I did have, there's ups and downs in wrestling. When I was young, uh, Ike the Crippler Shaw, he was the guy who was in charge of the wrestling school, and although he taught me a lot of stuff in the beginning, when you were no longer um, useful to him, or he thought you were, against what he was going at because he was a crazy man, he would do anything to bury you. So maybe him, but no, I've had most of my experiences in the wrestling business have been positive. There's nothing I'd rather be doing, and um, I can't see that. I just want more. Not nobody. I don't think anyone ever sabotaged it. No. How about you?
no. Me? Um, no, not really. I not that I can think of off the top of my head. Everybody's been pretty nice to me, so
Well, we
I
we
like.
heard everyone knows that you're in charge and you're going to make things happen. So there you go.
Yeah, so they better be nice to me now.
That's right. Well, if they're not, you let me know and we'll take care of them.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. So, have you had any accomplishments that you would say outweigh any of the other ones?
Um, I I had the opportunities to do a lot of great matches with different friends of mine, and the every match I like it would say is an accomplishment if I can get to the ring because it's hard to walk on these bad knees, but people have really given me the chance to be their friend and really put me out there. I've wrestled some like they're well named guys out there. I've had a chance to work with Mick Foley and Gangrel and Carlito and that. And it's all because of promoters have given me the opportunity. So like, it's not I do the best I can to show that I'm worthy, and that you always get the opportunity to be put in the position if you're worth it.
Yeah, yeah. That's got to be such an amazing experience to work with those guys too, right?
Yeah, but it's just as rewarding for me, I find, to work with someone that nobody knows to give them the opportunity. Like, I think the art form of wrestling is just as important, and you can make it happen with anybody because people know your name more and they're more likely to show up and buy a ticket. Well, that's great, but as long as you're remembered when you after the bell's over rings, whether you're inside the ring or outside the ring or holding the camera, whatever, if long as they remember what you were there, then you did your job.
Yeah, yeah. I completely agree. You have to be able to put some kind of a impression on their minds to be remembered.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made an impression on anyone. Amanda, what do you think?
I think so. You made an impression on me.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So, have you had
One
any
fan. We got
failures?
one fan. Yes, one.
Yes. I'm a big fan. Don't worry. So, have you had any failures in your wrestling career? What have you learned from them?
What is this, a job interview?
No. People
uh,
want to know. People want to know.
yeah, there's been times when I thought I didn't give enough in the like a in retrospect on certain things. There's been times that man, I wish I would have done this, or why didn't I do that? But
Yeah.
you can try your hardest, but there's always going to be room for improvement. You can't sit back and think you're the greatest because otherwise you'll just be stale, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
of course not. I've never failed at anything. I'm the best.
Well, that's good. That's
What
a
a
good
terrible
thing.
question, Amanda. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
I don't want this job anymore. Like what?
Okay. All right. Well, I still want you to have the job, so.
All right. What are you paying? Is it a lot?
No.
Let's see the check.
No.
All right then. I did this for free. Whoa, this is ridiculous. Okay,
You did this for the pleasure of talking to me and
I
having
did, and
people.
that pleasure is wonderful. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. So, what are some of your 2021 goals in wrestling?
Uh,
I know that, it's not around right now, but do you have anything that maybe
well,
you're trying to do so that when you come back, you have something new and fresh?
the first goal, I would like to leave the house. Apparently, we're not allowed. uh,
No, we're
I
prisoners in our own home.
I think that first show back with crowds will be the best show in will be so exciting because everybody will be so it's heart grows fonder for things that are missing. So and it's been
Yeah.
missing in all our lives. So everyone can't wait to get there. I'll be the first one out at the door and the last one to leave.
All right. All right. Well, you know what? I think that that's a great goal because you're not the only one that is thinking that. There's so many people out there that are hoping that we can just get out of our house. But getting back to
I like my
wrestling is
house. I have a nice house, but I like to drive around, see some
yeah,
people. But
the repetition, right? It's the
yeah,
repetition.
we've
Yeah.
already just established that you're in charge. You're going to make this go away. No one can do it but you, so it's all on your shoulders.
All right. All right. All right. I'll let you know when I get some progress done with that too.
Well, hurry up.
All right. I'll try my best.
And then
So
try a
in
little harder.
wrestling, all right.
What?
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Also, I know that you want to get back to your faction. You're with the Temple, right?
That's right.
That's right. So how'd you get into that?
Well, Tex brought a big briefcase of money over to his office, made me meet him there, and I signed the deal, and we moved on from me, Jeff, and I fighting all over the world uh, to we're gonna form this group, and we're gonna make things happen. Prior to that, I was, in other I've the Hot Mess Express with Bia and Cuba, and
Yeah.
that was a good time, but things needed to change, and we needed to go in a new direction.
Yeah. Yeah. So he just came to your house with a big pile of
Well, I met him
briefcase.
at his office. I met him at his office. You've seen his office; it's really nice. And
Yeah.
he had that Jacob guy give me a call and set up an appointment. And he was on time. I don't know if you know about being on time, but uh,
No.
then presented me a contract and a big briefcase full of money, and we got the deal done. Now the temple, people didn't like us at first, and they thought we were crazy, and nobody thought that this is going to work. But I don't know, Amanda. What do you think? The crowd seems pretty interested in what we have to say and what we have to do.
I
You
think
were there.
so. Yes, yes. Actually, like being in the ring and seeing how you guys like come out and the reaction of the fans is just like it's immensely intense because I wouldn't expect so many people to be for that, but it's
They
teach
know a
their own.
good. The fans always know a good thing when they see it, right?
That's right. That is right. They are very good judges of character. So,
I wouldn't say that, but
okay, some of them. But you know what? It's such an amazing experience to see the crowd react to you guys that way too. It's so, and they're all singing and chanting, and you guys have them
swearing.
going. Yeah.
Who doesn't love swearing, Amanda? There you go.
Well, I don't. No, I've been told I have quite the trucker's mouth, so I got to tone it down for my interviews.
Yeah, the boss won't like it.
No. So, is there anything you have to do to get into the temple, or do you just have to set up
Well,
a
you've
meeting? Like, how's it work?
well in the you've seen we have some templates that are training. It's just it's a way of life. You got to buy in and then follow the rules. Like any other cult. I mean, faction.
So there's rules? Like what kind of rules?
I can't
Like
talk.
just you
I
have to
can't
be
talk
one of
about them.
them.
They're not public.
Oh,
You
you
have to
can't
be a
talk about
member.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see.
So if
So
you
I need to
wanted to
get like
join
a
the
little
temp, yeah,
permission there or something.
call Jacob, get an appointment to see Tex, and then you can he'll hand you the fill out a form, see if you're worthy, and we'll see what we can go from there. And if your check clears, usually we can start the process.
Well, I don't know if I want to be a part of it, but for other people out there, just so they know.
Yeah, no problem. Just give Jacob a call. He can set you
All
up.
right.
Get
All
get
right.
you to where the check goes.
Well, that sounds great then. That sounds great. I'm glad everybody knows how to do that now. So, do you prefer singles or tag when you're in the temple? Like, do you think it helps having them around, or would you prefer being on your own?
I like. Uh, I don't prefer one over the other. I just like to be in the ring. It,
Yeah.
even if singles, that's great. Tag, no problems. All of us together, it's going to be a great time. So, Tex is a great manager. He sets out the strategies, and we deliver.
Yeah, he seems like a great manager. He seems like he's got you guys all under wraps and good to go.
Yeah, we're well versed in the book of the temple and ready to deliver.
Yes, you guys have a book. I heard about that. So, is that where all the rules are in the book?
Well,
Yes.
I can't tell you, Amanda, until you go through the orientation.
I gotta get like a snitch in there or something.
Well,
Get me
good
all the
luck.
answers I want.
Yeah, you get the inside track.
Yep. So, do you have any aspiring advice to, or sorry, do you have any advice for some aspiring wrestlers?
Always bring your gear. That's what I was taught. Uh, the best ability is availability.
Okay. Okay. That works. That works. That's pretty good. I like that advice. You know, always got to have that ring wrestling gear. So then that way, you could be in there and, like you said before, being at the right place at the right time.
That's right.
That's right. So, do you have a favorite WrestleMania?
Well, probably three because that was the biggest one. Hogan versus
Yeah.
Andre. I would say that I judge wrestling by the number of tickets you sell, and they sold the most tickets, so that's the best match.
Oh, okay. I like the way you think. That's a good way to think about it. If it's got a lot of people watching it, it must be good, right?
Well, that's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So do you like the more old school wrestling then rather than say more of the new
Yeah.
way? I find they're
I,
more acrobatic now than they were before.
Yeah, I don't care for this. I'd rather watch the old stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have like a certain area that you like then.
Yeah, I mean, it changes over time. Like there's been other eras that like people like I was a hardcore ECW fan, but I prefer like Mid Atlantic, NWA wrestling over. But I mean, I grew up watching WWF squash matches, so I enjoy that too. There's a reason to like a lot of it, but I mean, I the storytelling wrestling is more interesting to me than the backyard flipping.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so you're more interested if there's a story involved so that you can follow it more, right?
Yeah, you have to have a goal. I want to win the championship.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that is every wrestler's goal is to win and wear that championship belt.
Should be.
Yes. Yes. So, do you have any favorite movies? Are they like wrestling related at all?
No, I would say I mean, I was a big fan of the Rocky series. I like the Blues Brothers movie. That was one of my favorite movies, probably. You ever seen that, Manda?
Yes, I have. I do like that one. My favorite part is when they go in, it's like near the beginning with the nun.
Yeah.
At the beginning, that's one of my favorite parts. I always laugh to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one last question
All right, I'm
before we
ready.
get to near the end and stuff like that. If you could have dinner with three wrestlers, past or present, who would they be and why?
Wow. Ric Flair, um, Jerry Lawler, and I guess Bobby Heenan. And I would just sit there and I would say nothing and let them talk, and I would be very entertained. And I think their contributions to wrestling are beyond everyone's, and I just want to sit there and be a part of it because those were the guys I liked watching in the ring. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
how,
yeah, they are really great to watch in the ring. I like Flair. He's always got the crazy little drops that he has. Makes me burst out laughing. So, but that would be a great dinner. That would be a great dinner.
for
Do you
sure.
know what you would
Well, steak, of course.
steak. Always got to have that nice juicy steak. That would probably be in my dinner too. I'd love my steak. So I know that we can't do the dinner thing, but soon enough, maybe you'll get that.
All right, you're buying me dinner. Perfect.
So now I have a whole list of things. What is it?
Yeah,
I gotta do the government. I gotta make
yeah,
sure the government does their wrestling. I
yeah.
gotta beat you in a battleship game.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah, okay. I mean, you're going to learn to play poker, and you're going
Learn
to
to
bring all
play
your money.
poker.
You better get to work, Amanda. You got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I do. I do have a lot of things to do. I didn't realize I was gonna come out of this interview with having things to do. But that's okay. I'll get started on them and I'll let you know my progress.
Perfect. You get back to me as soon as possible.
All right, I will. So before we head out, is there any way that people can find you online?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Lenny Lilac. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, Deadly73. You can hit me up. I may not respond to you because I don't like you, but I usually I'm usually available 24 hours a day. So you could Google me.
Okay, brutally honest. That's good. Awesome. So thanks so much for having me, for being with us today, the 365 Nation and myself. And I hope I talk to you soon.
Well, you let me know as soon as all that stuff's done, and then we can do this again.
All right, that sounds good to me. Thank you
Great.
so much. For
Have a good day.
everybody else, Yes, you too. Thank you. For everybody else out there, for more Pro 365 Pro Wrestling content, you can go on to 365prowrestling.com or any of our social media accounts. It's also been scrolling down below throughout the interview, so you can get